Rightio, so we're going to talk about Farmacist Connect. So Farmacist Connect is a platform where we give information back to growers. So currently, as it stands, we collect a lot of information off growers, so whether it be EM maps or soil tests or whatever, it comes into us, it sits on our servers. The grower might want that data, we send them a PDF. It's very clunky. What we're trying to do is get as much information back to the growers and their agronomists to make the best decisions for their farms in a lifetime basis. So we just want to make it easier for growers to understand as well their digital data. So some of the digital data that we're collecting might be, the EM mapping, and we're trying to identify sodicity and look at soil variation. We do ground truthing with soil tests. So where did we take these geo-reference soil tests? What year? What paddock? Where was it? We're doing a lot of nutrient management plans at the moment. So we'll do up a nutrient management plan for the grower, but that's in a PDF somewhere. Let's have it online or on an app where a grower can access it while he's in the paddock, while he's in the tractor. Prescription amelioration mapping, like it's like would sit on our servers. The growers need to be able to access it when they need it, when they want it. Like satellite imagery, NDVI data, harvest maps, all this digital information. So, the future of farming is digital, and we're moving more and more into a digital world. So they are big databases and big data platforms, and the whole idea about Farmacist Connect is getting the grower to log in a secure environment and extract all their information so that they can make decisions for themselves and understand where they're at. And we've tried to make it easy so that, like if they've got the RPK going and they're just driving down the paddock, they can put in, I've changed my chemical mix, I've changed my chemical setup. I'm applying this fertiliser on this day to this paddock, it'll tell you what paddock you're in. So we're just trying to make it easier. And Richelle and Dylan have been working on this now for a couple of years. I mean, if anyone thinks developing an app is easy, think again. If anyone thinks developing an app is cheap, think again. We're at the stage now where, we're 90% happy with it. We've been field testing it with growers to see, what they think about it. Have we missed something? The whole idea is to keep it simple. We don't want to overcomplicate it. And Richelle, who has been farming and verticum with the father for a while, is working with Dylan on this and field testing it with growers. So we'll just introduce the app. It's in beta testing at the moment. Richelle will give you a bit of an idea what we're talking about.
Yes, so obviously I'm not Dylan's Amic, but I will do my best to get across all the work that he's been putting in on this for a very long time. And I'm not going to do a Terry or a Daniel. I have very extensive notes. Okay, so Farmacist is very excited about this. We see the very real need for Farmacist Connect in an evolving agricultural climate where complete and timely records are essential. It covers things we need now and leaves room to expand to encompass a more robust scope of records, including things like financials. So because we're still testing and receiving feedback, this app has the ability to transform to be exactly what our growers are looking for. Okay, so the platform is designed for growers to record and manage farm activities, supplied through web interface and mobile app and available on both Android and iOS, which means that it can be used on almost any smartphone that's already in farmers' pockets, and also on their home computer or tablet. The software will guide you through each process and make it simple and, more importantly, quick. So Dylan has built a program to guide you through each step in the necessary order. We spent a lot of time, it was actually good when I come along. I was a fresh set of eyes. So Dylan has been in this headspace for a very long time, and I come along and you can make it easier for the farmers. For someone who's never used it before, this program will guide you through everything that you need to set up and the next step. And yeah, we know not everyone is confident with technology, and we wanted to make something that was so easy and effortless. We know that an easy program is going to be used, whereas anything that's confusing or not straightforward will never be used. It's available on the web and as an app for an important reason. The web version is important to do advanced configuration and setup. So when you're drawing boundaries, looking at maps, like that kind of thing, you want it on a bigger screen. And the initial setup, you're setting up your chemical rig, you're setting up AB lines on your paddocks. So a bigger screen's better for that. The web version also handles all analytical things like graphs, and it changes over time. The app, however, is more streamlined. So you can do smaller everyday things like irrigation and nutrient application on the go and in near real time once you've done setting up. So the web and app are linked and will change on both when you make changes on one. So the current situation, the legislation. So Farmacist Connect has all the legal requirements for farm record keeping, all in one spot. So always on the go, that's why we put it in your pocket. So you can record it either as you do it or when you sit down for smoko, when you get back on the tractor. It's as easy as opening up an app, ticking, flicking, it's all done already. You don't get a couple of weeks later and go, oh, what was that rate that I put that fertilizer? Third point, communication. So we love our growers, but I know they don't want to be calling us every other day to check on their record, which goes hand in hand with the last point, record keeping. It's all in one place. It's easy to update and ready if auditors knock on their door. So who's it for? It's for all growers. So Farmacist is in the name, but it's for any grower who's interested in viewing their farm spatially and electronically. At the moment, the app supports sugarcane, legume and banana cropping, but all can be supported, and this is coming. It's for pharmacist growers, so they will have electronic delivery of plans and recommendations and other pharmacist-specific data. This does not mean the app is limited to only pharmacist clients. It just means that they have more of their information that can be put on the app by pharmacists themselves. And record keeping, again, anyone can bring their record keeping to the program where it's digitized and easily available. So one cool thing about the program is that you can backdate it. If you, wanted to put the whole record of a block that was planted 3 years ago, you can do that. So it'll all be stored on there in one place. So current features. The crop can be modified to support any type of crop or harvest specific data. So again, we've already configured sugarcane, legumes and bananas, but we can add things like grazing, fodder, grain, basically whatever you want to grow, we can add that into the app basically on request. We are working towards it, but we figured we'd cover what the Burdick and Mackay regions grow at the moment. Nutrient. So our product list is easy to search for your fertilizer. So Dylan has preloaded nearly every type of fertilizer you can possibly think of into this program. So it's as easy as scrolling through, selecting what you want. You can put your search into the bar, just easier. And if there is some obscure blend that you're using that isn't on the list, you just give us a call, we can throw it in there. Chemical, you can choose from a preset spray rig setup. All these functions are set up at the very beginning of using the program. That's that wizard that I was talking about that helps you set things up in the correct order for later on. So later on you can just select the rig or chemical that you want. And in that, if you've got your regular blend that you use for spraying, but you want to throw an extra chemical in there on this run, it's easier. So you've got everything already preloaded, you just add in another one down the bottom. And irrigation. So this one in particular that has to get set up on the computer rather than the phone. So you can break each block down into irrigation sets. If you water 20 drills at a time, you have set 1, next 20, that kind of thing. So when you log your irrigation, you can simply select a set and record it as started or stopped. And that is going to be another, just tick or flick, just slide across the bar, shows that it's running or that it's being stopped. The app will keep track of the time you started and stopped the pump, which set was watered and how many drills, the amount of water used in that irrigation event, if you know your pump flow. There are handy coloured tabs that indicate the pump is still running, which could be a good reminder when you are sitting at home at 10 o'clock at night and you remember there was something that you were meant to do. So let's see what it looks like. So this slide shows what our web version looks like. Here's a whole farm that is divided into separate blocks and displays what the crop is and its AB line. So the AB line is the red one. It's only one of them in each block. Hopefully you can see you've got the different varieties. So if there was one of them that was soybeans or something, it would come up with soybeans, mungbeans, that kind of thing. So all this is set up by drawing the polygon when you go and first set up your farm in the program. Again, that's something that you'd be doing on your computer, laptop, tablet, something with a bigger screen. Or you can import shape files from mapping that you've had previously done. And there's scope here to import files from tractor GPS systems down the line as well. That's not a current feature, but there's definite potential for that to work into that. So this is just your nutrient application. So it covers everything from timing, so you can have that plant, spiking 3-leaf to a 6-leaf, applicator, liquid, or granular products. So that's a massive list. Everything that you can probably nearly think of is in that list. You just scroll down to find it. You put in the rate, you put in the date. For your records, so this here is all the blocks on this farm. So you can have multiple farms on there as well. You can have, multiple business names, multiple accounts. This one here, it's just your overview, right? So it's got the day that you planted it, and that it's active. Once you've harvested, that active will change to let you know that that block has been ploughed out, done, whatever you've done with it. So this one here is actually a very cool feature that Dylan's only just finished. So this here is your crop time. So you've got the sliding bar across the top, and you can backdate that to when the farm or block was first created. So you can essentially have years of information that you can just slide across, and these will change depending on where it is in that stage. This here is your events panel. That will come up, that will have everything that you've done on that block. It will have when you watered it, when you fertilized it, when you cultivated it. Everything will be in that panel. As you change the information in your, like on the slide back, you have it all laid out there. As that changes, like as you go through, you harvest it, you can put in your new crop then. So each of these blocks will be, like when you put in a new block, it won't wipe what the old one was. So this is essentially a storage of information over time. So it will show the change. Okay, so future developments, things that we have in the works, things that we've thought about, things that we've received feedback on from our growers who are very kindly trialing it for us. Reporting, so that's going to be an easy one-click, throws all your information into a PDF and you can print it off. It will have the entire history of your farm, or if you don't want the entire history, you can just print out a farm map, your nutrient plan, that kind of stuff. Economics, you'll be able to put in there your yield and right down to what you paid for your fertilizer, that kind of thing. Worker tracking, that's just so that they can, your employees can have access to it without really changing anything. They can put in when they fertilized, what they fertilized, when they started pumps, that kind of thing. Tractor imports, again, that's your GPS. Basically, everything that you do on your GPS system should be able to be imported into this in the future. Equipment management, on-farm events, cultivation. Again, we don't have that in there at the moment, but once we get the rest of this running, like the basic recording requirements running, then we will add on these features. Dashboard, NMP budget tracker, and yield comparison. That's it. No, there we go. Currently, we're in the closed beta testing phase. So we're collecting feedback from our growers who are trialing it for us. Obviously, we want to make sure that we're releasing Farmacist Connect when it's as good as it can be. Dylan has been working around the clock to make sure all the bugs are fixed and the program moves effortlessly from one part to the next. And that relevant suggestions from our test growers are incorporated into the program so that when it's released, it will be adopted wide and far. And we're very excited about this, and we hope that our growers will be too. That's it.